How you doing, Shawanda? How you doing? I'm coming in here real quick. What time is it? Want to do a quick check on to see if you got yourself together. I just want to show y'all something. This is not going to be a long video again, unless you make it a long video. So I want to make sure, really, babe, really. I want to check and see if everybody is on top of their game. That's all. I just wanted to show you guys something, and I wanted to for proof. Let me see. Let me make sure. What is this Sunday? How you doing? Cool. Hey, my Renaissance grandma, patient saint. How y'all doing? We in a nice chill vibe today. We just want to do a quick check. All right. And if you wanted to come up for a hot minute, you can, but please make it short if you do come up. I wanted to show you guys something. You got two of me here. Okay. I just wanted to check and make sure that's working. Let's see. Real Truth, how you doing? All right, everything is good. Y'all can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me and see me. Give me two thumbs up. If you can hear me and see me clearly, give me three thumbs up. Pretty please. Okay. All right. How you doing, Miss Tolliver? Patient Saint in the house. How you doing, my brother? How you doing, the Queen? Said, hello, I was just watching some of your old citrus videos. Thank you. Thank you for that. Believe it or not, it helps. Okay. Now, what I wanted to come in here and talk about, I'm gonna get right into it. Oh, what? Yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna get right into it. All I'm coming in to talk about today is something as simple as, do you have enough? That's it. That's the whole premise of the show. Do you have enough? Will it be enough? Did you store enough? How many people are in your household? That counts. Do you have enough food? Is your food in a safe location? Do you have something to protect your food? Right now, that's right. I like that. I like that. Says Sub Zero says you can never have enough. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. All right, let's see what we got here. Hey Suzette, how you doing? Say that's why I keep working on it. Things change. Absolutely. 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 Polar Bear says definitely not enough. Okay. How can we change that? How can we make it enough? There you go. All day. Reveal says keep stacking preps, period. No matter what. Absolutely. I agree 100%. All I'm doing, I leveled this out at about a 30-minute video. If it goes over, then fine. But what I what I wanted to focus on was getting your food together and getting it put away in a safe space. Now, a lot of us have been putting away food for years. The second part is it in a safe space? Is all of your stored food in one space? Say, especially on a fixed income, getting the most important first and add and don't stop. Absolutely. I agree 100%. Okay. So I'm going to show you proof of what I said works. Okay. I showed you guys, I think it was last year, and I'm going to show you again this year. Let me see. New Day says, I'm a senior, 73 years old. My canned goods, got my water, and working on hydroponics. Okay. Okay. All this video is about, really, is to show you and prove to you that this works. What do I do with that lead? Oh, I want to show you something. I just checked this. And I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. That's why we got the other camera up. I can show you better than I can tell you. Can everybody read that okay? I want you to look at that really, really close. Let me see. This is a good question. I'm glad I didn't miss it. It says, I have a question. To preserve grains, do we add fresh bay leaf or dried bay leaf? I would say dried bay leaf. I've only used dried. I've never used fresh. And to be honest with you, if you used fresh bay leaves, it would probably rot in the bucket, you know? So I don't think that will end up very well. Good question, though. And let me see if y'all can give me one minute. I think I got it. Give me 1 minute. Let me see if I got it so I can show you the bottle. I think I got it. I think it's on Freedom Acres. Okay, my bad. It might be on Freedom Acres, but I was going to show you the bottle of bay leaves that I use. Okay. How you doing, Power Chair? My Renaissance grandma says absolutely will mold or rot in that bucket. That's what I'm thinking. How you doing, TLC in the garden? Good to see you, my sister. Okay. All right. So, again, this is just proof that it works. Okay. Look at the date. In this bucket, I got rice, black beans, pinto beans, navy beans in one 5-gallon bucket. I'm going to show that to you now, okay? Got these. Heavy as something else. Okay. The date on those, here's a good question. Where did it go? How do you know if your dry beans went bad? You'll know. I mean, it's what do you mean? How do you know if your dried beans went bad? I don't understand the question. Okay. Do they soak up the water or taste bland? What are you referring to? PVOC. Let's see. Katina Brooks says, I reuse and clean and empty cat litter buckets, and they are stackable. Here's the thing with cat litter buckets, though. They're not sealable. Cat buckets, I think they should make 5-gallon buckets like in the shape of cat buckets and make them sealable. But cat buckets are not sealable. That's the only problem. I got about 6 of them on the land, and I use them for all kind of stuff, but I don't use them to store food. Now, it'll be good if you got canned foods in them, but as far as bagged goods and dried goods, it won't work. Let me see. Said the dried beans, they do stay small and taste bland when cooked. The dry beans, do they stay small and taste bland when cooked? Yeah, I don't know how to answer your question. I'm sorry. Yes. TLC in the garden say, I've never seen dry beans go bad. Amen. They just take longer to cook. It's very old. My grandmother had some that were over 20 years old when she passed. Okay. You are supposed to use food grade plastic buckets. Okay. Let me touch in on that real quick. Okay. Oh man, I got a lot of good questions here. Food grade plastic buckets. How do you know it's food grade plastic buckets? Who says that the buckets that you're using are food grade plastic? The label on the bucket, because I want to tell you something about that, man. And people don't really understand. If a bucket already had chemicals inside of it, like, I don't know, some kind of corrosive or toxic chemical, I understand not using that bucket for food storage or foodstuffs. But here's the thing where I have a problem with that. I used to work in a plastics factory, and we made those little containers. Where is they at? The little containers with spices in them that you buy all the time, the big boxes, the big jugs. And we also made the containers for oh my God, I'm trying to remember what was in all the you see these containers every time you go to the grocery store, okay? And they also make buckets of different sorts. You made buckets that was for corrosive things and chemicals, and you made buckets that were for food. Now, the machine that I used to operate, they all came off the same line, out of the same machine, and I had to use the same toxic grease and toxic oil to lube my dye before I injected the plastic mold in each and every last one of them. So when they keep on putting those food grade labels and stuff on stuff and make you pay another $3 or $4 for that bucket, I have a problem with that. You can do what you want to do, but I have a problem with that. Okay. I have a problem with paying an extra double the cost of something, and it came off the exact same assembly line. I've done it several times. I worked in several factories that did this. One, I want to talk about this place that made baked goods, and a famous bread factory. And the same bread, the bread that you're going to pay $6 for, the loaf of bread that you're going to pay $6 for, we also processed that loaf of bread that was going to Aldi's that was costing 25 cents a loaf back then. When we ran out of the expensive, colorful bags for this $6 loaf of bread, we got the Aldi bags, and the same bread went in the Aldi bags. They just charged you something different. And it was routine. This wasn't like a one-time thing. This was every night that we worked. Like, okay, we done filling that order, switch the bags over into Kroger bread. Now switch the bags over into Aldi bread, and the prices on the bags were different, but it was the exact same loaf of bread inside. I can't make that up. Okay. It went down to a 25-cent bag of Aldi bread, all the way up to a $6 bag of one of the most famous, wonderful breads you've ever heard of. It was insane to me. It was an eye opener. Okay, let me get back to this. So I don't do that. I don't play that game. That's a deterrent to me. Okay, let me see. Patient Saint says I got 5 gallon Home Depot buckets with rice and Mylar bags. You can put things in Mylar bags and it's going to protect it anyway. There, thank you. If you wrap things up and seal things up in a Mylar bag with oxygen absorbers inside of it and then put them in the 5 gallon buckets, it's going to be protected anyway. The 5 gallon bucket is just to make it easier to tote around and store, more uniform. Says, hey, y'all, I got Mylar bags and oxygen absorbers on eBay to seal the bag. I use small flat irons. That's what I use, the little flat irons for your hair. How you doing, Mr. Diner? Let me see. Okay, this is the question I was looking for. What about using gamma lids? Somebody said that yesterday in my live stream. I wouldn't use those because here's why I wouldn't use the gamma lids. Let me show you that lid again. See that plastic, that rubber ring inside there? That's a rubber ring. I could probably do this better. Let's get this cam useful. That rubber ring right there, that's what you're looking for. That's what seals in the oxygen, keeps the oxygen out. Okay. Now the gamma lid, what it does is it has that ring on the outside, but that part that you screw in the middle doesn't. I've had several of those and I just got rid of those. I was just using them to keep I still got one to keep dog food in and stuff like that, but nothing that's going to keep anything solid. I'm going to tell you what made me stop using gamma lids. I left a bucket on Freedom Acres one day when I first got the land. I left it out in the rain because I thought it was going to be okay. When I opened that bucket up, it didn't have food or anything in it. It had some like my screws and nails and stuff in it. Opened it up and it was water in that bucket. And I was so PO because I thought, hey, this is supposed to be sealed. It did not work. So I just never used them for anything with food at all ever again. Okay, got that one. I'm glad I saw that question. Let me see. Let's talk about that too. When people keep asking, how do the beans taste? Are they bland? I want to address that. Okay. We're in a time of survival, and we all have been pacified to the utmost extremes. We're spoiled. We want everything to taste sweet, and we want it to taste good, and we want it to taste delicious. This is a time of pulling our belts tighter, being more resourceful and more independent and more disciplined. You can't expect your every meal to be tasting like Longhorn Steakhouse. We need to get that out of our vocabulary and get that out of our heads. You may eat some beans with no seasoning on them, but your body needs that protein. Your taste buds do not need, you understand, your taste buds are not a priority. That's a mental thing. Your organs do not need flavor. Your organs need nutrients and vitamins. The only thing that's being satisfied when you start putting too many ingredients in a meal that's supposed to keep you alive is your tongue. Your tongue and your brain. Hey, Grammy, yeah, how you doing? So please get that out of our vocabulary and worrying about, because I hear that a lot. Oh yeah, you need to put this and with a dash of this and a pinch full of that, it'll taste good. Get that out of your head, because what you'll end up doing is wasting time, energy, and precious space on unnecessary spices and herbs that your body won't need. You're trying to satisfy your taste buds. Your taste buds won't keep you alive. Now imagine this, true story. Imagine this. Which would you rather have? A 5-gallon bucket full of beans or 5-gallon buckets full of salt? Salt is good, salt is savory, but salt will not keep you alive. So what I do have, most of my stores are proteins, starches, but I want to be honest with you. I do have a couple of 5-gallon buckets of spice. When I say spice, 5-gallon bucket of sugar, a 5-gallon bucket of salt. Okay. But that's it. That's it. I don't waste any of my space with things like that. Now, I have more salt than I have sugar and other stuff, and the reason for that is because salt helps you preserve things. But I'm not looking towards salt as a seasoning to make my mind feel better in a bad situation. I just wanted to put that out there. Okay. So let me go back up here because I went down a little too far. Thank you for that. Food is food when you're trying to stay alive. And the people that when I hear things like that, what it reminds me of is you have never been in a situation where you have been hungry. When people say like, when they worried about how stuff tastes, and they say, well, I don't really like pasta and stuff like that, you've never been hungry. Because honestly, in this situation that we're facing right now, can I tell you something else? How you doing, Rucker Homestead? Can I tell you something else? When you keep worrying about things like that, you scare other people away. Can I tell you how that works? Say you're in a group. Say you're in a group and you've built a community. Y'all built a community. If you're the person in that group or that community that always complains about how things aren't tasting right, or you haven't eaten enough, you're still hungry, if you're that person and you keep worrying about minuscule things like that and you're not focused on survival, you may see yourself on the outside of that community gate. Okay, real quick. Because after a while, if you keep complaining about the food is not enough and it don't taste good enough for you, and you are used to bigger portions and you're used to eating 3 meals a day, this other group is looking at, the rest of the group is looking at you like, this one gonna be a problem. This is one we gonna have to be like, he's stealing food, and you know, he adding extra spices that we need for other things, and you know, I'm just saying, okay. So let me see. We've been in here how many minutes now? Okay, we've been in here almost 30 minutes. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody understood that. Think of this. Think of it like when you're at work, right? When you're at work, the last person you want to be working next to is a person that complains every day. Man, they got us working third shift. They got us working 2 hours over. Man, I got bills to pay. Man, they always, if you, even though they may be right, I don't want to stand here for 12 hours next to this dude. We cool right now, but if I hear 12 hours of this, man, we ain't going to be cool by the end of the day. Now, that's on a normal basis. So imagine that kind of complaining in a life-threatening situation. I don't want to be around. Let me break this down to you. In the days of how things are right now, I don't want to be around weak people. I don't want to be around weak people. Now, that's not including children, okay? Children and the elderly and our elders, they have to be. But I'm talking about everyday people. I do not want to be around no weak people. I don't want to be around any weak-minded people, because those are the people that start infighting before we have to defend ourselves or run an offensive. I don't want to do any infight in our group when the world is the real enemy. So if you weak and you scary and I can't, man. I can't, because scary people get people hurt. If I'm depending on you to watch let me take my tone down. If I'm depending on you to watch my back, let's just say I'm going in this building for some medicine, and you are my lookout. I'm only supposed to be in this building no more than 10 minutes. Okay, if you're my lookout and you see a gang coming up to that building, if you're too scared to signal me to get out of that building, or if you're too scared to run defense so I can get out of there, or if you're too scared to provide cover so I can get out of there, we can't rock, because I literally am putting my life in your hands by trusting you to watch my back. Because if I'm in this building getting supplies, I may not make it out because you got scared or you got nervous, or you didn't want to engage. That's what I'm gonna call it. Okay. Your finger just would not move. So you didn't want to engage the enemy. So you ran and left me in that building by myself. I don't want to be around people that got to question that. I know this is a serious conversation, and I'm trying to keep it as cool and positive as possible. But the reason I'm having this conversation is because we are at a time right now that this is reality that we all need to be thinking about right now. We all really need to be thinking about who's around us, who's with you, who's really with you, who do you trust, who is against you, who been playing in your face this whole time, they ain't really for you. You need to start separating. I know this sounds crazy, but you need to start separating yourselves from those people that you always had a little side eye on them like this. You know who I'm talking about. It's a lot of them that you like, they cool, but their side eye business, You're going to have to let them go. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're probably feeling like, and I'm talking about myself and I'm just projecting right now, okay? But right now, you're probably feeling like, I need as many people with me as possible because you feel that bigger groups, there is strength in numbers. It's I disagree. I disagree with that. I don't fully disagree with strength in numbers. What I'm going to say is there is a catch to that. There's strength in solid numbers, meaning everybody is on one accord. No jokes. I don't know if y'all have ever heard the story of Elliot Ness, the Untouchables. That is the mental capacity that you have to be on. Meaning, you trust this person with your life. You know we are all in it and we're all on one accord. We are all fighting the same criminals in the same crime, and nobody can be bought. Nobody can be persuaded with a Snicker bar or $1 million. Them is the people you want on your team. If you got a couple of them people on a team, let me break it down to you. I got a friend back home. I don't trust him with a lot of important things or situations. I love him. I love him like a brother. But when it comes to reality, when it comes to battle, it's certain things I don't trust him with. It's a reason for that. He has a weakness. Women. Women. I have always stayed away from brothers like that. It's nothing saying nothing bad about women at all. So let's get that straight. What I'm talking about, he's a sucker for women. I've seen this fool give a woman all his money just because she promised him a good roll around in the sack. I've seen him buy somebody a car because she was really good at what she did. I've seen my homeboy not come pick me up from work when my car broke down because he said he ran up and met some girl on the way to come pick me up. Now, this was before cell phones, so, I couldn't call him. He couldn't call me. But I'm wondering where my homeboy at because he was supposed to pick me up from my job so I could go pick up my car before the shop closed because they was done with my vehicle. Didn't pick me up. So what happened? I had to wait all weekend till Monday to pick up my car because they was closed on the weekend. Why? When he came and picked me up later, I had to get in the back seat because this chick is sitting in the front seat that I don't know from a hole in the wall. And I'll never forget this. I'm not going to say her real name, okay? I remember he like, oh, what's up? I didn't say, dude, where you been? I didn't trip. I didn't clown, nothing. I came to the car and seen it was a chick in the passenger seat. I already knew what it was. You know what I mean? I get in the back seat. He all happy. What's up, man? What's going on? Man, sorry I'm a little bit late. But hey, this is Cindy. This my homeboy, Led Cindy. I'll never forget the way she turned around and reached her arm back. Hey, how you doing? Like this. So how you doing? I will never forget that because that was the day I said never again No matter what will I ever ask you for anything. Anything that's important. If I want you to run around the store and get me a bag of chips and a pop, that's about as far as we go. If it got anything to do with finances, business, life or death, I want to hear something else. Keep it 100. Again, I love him like a brother. I love my partner. You understand? We were born and raised together. I've been knowing him since I was 15 years old. I love this dude. But I know what kind of dude he is. I love him, but he's the kind of dude, if the spit hit the fan, I will hand him one of my firearms with one magazine full of rounds in it. And you can't come to the land. Because if I need you and I need to trust you with my life and my family's life, you will sail me and my family down the river for a good roll in the bed. You will sell me out for some good love. I don't want nobody around me like that. No, I will arm him. That's my brother. I'm a better shot than he is too. I wouldn't leave him like that. But you can't come to my land. He already know you're not welcome there. Matter of fact, he's, oh man, I gotta go see Freedom Makers. What's a good month that I can? Yeah, it's under construction, bro. I told him about it. I told him how much I love it. I told him all the stuff I'm doing out there. I done sent him videos of me, and he watched me on YouTube, and he know right now. He probably watching me now, and he know because this ain't no shame. You can't come. I don't even want you there. I don't want you to ever see it in person. Again, that's a dude I've been knowing since I was 15 years old. Been knowing this dude, 40 years? Something like that almost. Or close to 40 years. You still can't come. Because I know what kind of cat you is, man. Now, when it comes to hanging out, chilling, banging, barbecuing, drinking a cold one, talk about old time, kicking it, having a good time, all day. Would I ever go to the club with you? Absolutely not. Because if I needed you to protect me, you'll be over here romancing this chick while some dude is stomping me with his Gore-Tex boots on the ground. I'm cool. I don't need people around me like that. Right? So I'm talking about reality right now and not the fantasy part of all are welcome. Everybody's welcome. I don't want to deal with no fair weather people. Stay away from me. In this time right now, stay away from me. Please. If you can't keep your mouth shut, stay away from me. Right? I wanted to. And traders. People that they down with you right now. We here. But if somebody cut them a sweeter deal, like this camp over here says, hey, we winning over here. While y'all only got 5 buckets of beans and rice, we got 1,000 buckets of beans and rice. And then your homeboy leave because he went to a team with 1,000 buckets of beans and rice, while y'all only got 5 buckets of beans and rice. He left y'all high and dry. But it's people like that never ask that other team, this is some rough times. How the hell did you get your hands on 1,000 buckets of beans and rice? No, they see the 1,000 beans and rice and feel that they're going to be living better and eating better in this new camp. Let me tell you something, though. One thing that guy didn't tell him was, Oh, we got 1,000 buckets of beans or rice because we come to little camps like yours and take them over. So that's what we do. We go to other camps and we force them to give us their supplies. So now you just join into a group of thieves and wickedness, and in a group of evil, wicked people. They can once the supply source is gone, they feed upon each other. You think you're safe in a group of people like that? I got to be honest, there's a lot of people out there talking about running up and taking other people's supplies, right? Man, those people aren't safe. If anything, pray for them because they think that they're in a group of people they're in a gang. Okay, gangs feed upon themselves after time. They dwindle away really, really fast. They don't think so because they're always infighting about the spoils of what they just stole, like pirates. So if you leave a group and you weaken a group that's already fairly weak because you wanted more without questioning what's going on, or you didn't come to our group and say, hey, listen, this is what we're gonna do, and this is why we're doing it. Maybe we should make a move and join them. Or no, you like, man, they got a lot of beans and rice, bro. I gotta go. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I love y'all, but man, they got plenty of food. Y'all talking about we can only have 4 ounces of food a day. They talk about, man, we can have a whole bowl full, son. Stay away from me. Period. Okay. It's people with that kind of loyalty that you can always see on everyday basis. How many of y'all got friends like that? You don't say nothing because they're your friends, but every day when things ain't going well with you, they pick another friend to go to and they hang out with them more because they have more. Hell, you can see, let me stop that. They rather be over here because they have a little more. You got friends like that. I guarantee you. So let me show you this. I said this was going to be a 30-minute live, and it's already been 45 minutes. Let me show you something. Again, for everybody coming in the room, I wanted to show you this to prove my point. This is rice, black beans, pinto beans, navy beans from 2021. From 2021. Okay. What I like to do every year, I like to go and check all of my gear, my bug out bags, check out all my food. Okay. So I'm going to do that with you today. So that's why I brought my other screen. I wish I would have brought a bigger tripod, but you know, it is what it is. All right. So I'm going to do my best here to show you what we talk about. Okay, there we go. Good. All right. Let me bring it on the stage. Can y'all see that okay? Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. Can you hear me now? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Give me 2 thumbs up if you can hear me and see me. All right, good. Okay, I'm new to this, y'all, but I'm doing a balancing act with these cameras. Okay, what I was saying was these buckets are almost. Let me take the echo out here. These buckets are almost 6 years old. Okay, think about that. Now, these are just a few of the buckets, but I've never stopped building my buckets. You don't have to build like 10 of them all at one time, gonna cost you $500 or something. Whenever you get some extra money, each one of these buckets used to cost about $50 to fill this bucket up. $30 to $50 to fill this bucket up, full of beans, rice, and essentials. Okay? Do I have any questions so far? I'm going to show you. I've shown you the lid. You got to get the lid with the rubber seal on it, just like this. You have to. That rubber seal is everything. Don't go try to buy a cheap lid. This lid costs $5. This lid costs, I think it's like $3 and some change. The bucket, you can go to Home Depot. If you want to go pay extra money for a food grade bucket, that's completely up to you. But this bucket here came from Walmart, or you can get one from Home Depot. I got some from Lowe's. That part I don't care about, and I'm gonna show you why. Okay, because let me try to get this a little closer, okay? All right, that's better. That's better. Okay. This is gonna be messy, but it's worth it because I'm doing a check. Let me see. Okay. I'm gonna show you what this 1 5-gallon bucket has in it. Okay. I do a check once a year. This is how much you could be feeding your family. That's 1 bag of black beans. Remember, I want to save all my bay leaves. These keep the bugs out, and I forget what the little bugs is called that start growing inside your rice and your beans. The weevils. Keep the weevils out. Okay. Can y'all see that okay? I got it packed tight in here. Then I'm gonna try my best to show you how I got it in here. I got a 4-pound bag of pinto beans, a 4-pound bag of black beans, an 8-pound bag, weevils, an 8-pound bag of pinto beans. Make sure y'all see that. Can y'all see that? Well, you will in a minute. All right. And now, a 20-pound bag of rice. Okay? Can you see that? Now, I just opened this up. Now, I'm going to scoot this to the side so you can really see what we're talking about here. You have a meal that's going to last your family a long time, probably months, if you do that right. If you ration that off properly, your family will eat for months. If you have a family of 4, you will eat for about a month or 2 months off of this, or maybe even longer if you ration it properly. If you only eat this when you can't find any other food outdoors, that's the only time I would eat this. I wouldn't just eat this every day just because things is bad. I would only eat this when I can't find food outside. So each one of these buckets, that's what they have in them. Now, I have, let me get this together. Let me get this, let me put this back. Can you hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Give me 2 thumbs up if you can hear me and see me. Okay. Thank you. Let me see. I don't understand your question. What are the ingredients on the bag of rice? What do you mean by what are the ingredients on the bag of rice? I don't understand your question. Okay. Do we have any other questions? I'm going to show you, if there are no other questions, I'll just go ahead and show you how I'm going to try to put this back. Because when I'm in a zone and I'm doing several buckets at a time, I find this little rhythm I have, and I haven't done it in a minute or two. Vacuum sealing is good. Absolutely. Absolutely. I heard that worked. I've never done it, but I heard that works too, Teresa. I've heard that work. Okay. All right, let me talk about this right here. Okay. Can your bucket have freeze-dried eggs stored in Mylar bags for added protein? I would have a whole, yeah, you could add that in there if you wanted to. But beans have just as much protein in it, and you're going to get way more out of beans than you will with eggs. So you could if you wanted to. Thank you for that. My Renaissance grandma says. Now let's talk about some reality here, okay? My Renaissance grandma says, depending on where they are for a while, they can drop those beans in soil and grow more beans. Remember something, family. These are seeds. Beans are seeds. Thank you, my Renaissance grandma. So not only are you storing food, but you are also storing future food. These are seeds that you don't even think about. You could be growing pinto beans, black beans, lentils. I got a bucket somewhere with lentils in it. Rice, pinto. Okay. This is, I can tell this is one of the ones that I was on where I put the exact same thing in all these buckets. Okay, let me see here. Thank you for that, my Renaissance grandma. Thank you, because that always slips my mind. Thank you for mentioning that, please. Thank you. Hey, Miss Shirley O.G. Gardner, how you doing? You can grind as a fertilizer too. What do you mean by grind as a fertilizer? As a fertilizer, I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Let me know. Get a bag of 15 bean soup and different beans for years. Absolute. That's very smart, TLC. Very smart. Very smart. Okay. All right. So, with no other questions, what I'm going to attempt to do is reverse what I did. Okay. So let me put this back on camera. Let me see if I can get this back going here. There we go. All right. There we go. All right, we're going to go back over here. I'm going to let y'all see me do this, okay? So I'm going to do my best. I'm going to bring this 5-gallon bucket up as a stand. You see I got bay leaves at the bottom, down here. Always start with some at the bottom, few at the bottom. And now I'm going to restart this whole thing. I always start with the 20-pound bag of rice. I lay that on my arm. Let me see if I can do this properly. Okay. I lay that on my arm like that. Flatten it out. Turn my bucket sideways. Slip it in. Just like that. Down to the bottom. I pat that down. Just like that. Don't turn it up because all the rice will rush to the bottom. Leave it sideways. Now I grab my 8-pound bag of, these beans are going to come in all different shapes and sizes. So you got to put it in the best way you know how. Okay. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing. Add a few bay leaves first. And then I'm just going to slip that down to the bottom again. Smacking it down. Let me show you where we are so far. Okay. Smacking it down flat to the bottom, just like that. You see how the rice was hanging out? If this works like I remember, now you get this other bag of pinto beans down in there. To the bottom, again. Some bay leaves in between the bags. Okay. Now this is where it works. Stand it up and let gravity hit it. See this rice? Watch this. Now I don't care if it goes and gravity helps it. Add a few more bay leaves, a little pinch here and there, in between the cracks and crevices. Take my last 4 pounds of black beans, and now you just want that to melt right into the hole. You want this to fill up all of the gaps. So I'm just smacking the sides of the bucket. All this rice in the bag is shifting in all of those air pockets. Just like that. See that? Solid. Now, I take the rest of my bay leaves, fill in some crevices, put at the top, put around the edges, just in case something just happens to creep past that rubber gasket. I take my lid, and before I go to popping it on, watch this. I hit one side, just like that. But then I press down that middle. Let out any extra air, as much air as I can. That's it. It's locked. And that center is pushed down. That's it. I hope y'all saw that whole time. I hope y'all was able to see that. That was it. And I do all my buckets like this, no matter what. Okay. All right, y'all. Do I have any questions at all? Any questions? That's all I was in here today to do. I just wanted to make sure. How long will your stocks last? Do yourself a favor. Put your food and your supplies in. If you want barley, put barley in there. You could do whatever you want to do. There's no set rules on it. All I can ask you to do, no matter what you plan on putting in your buckets, I will say this. Go do a nutrition check on whatever you plan on putting inside of your supply buckets, your bug out buckets. Go do a nutrition check, because people is talking about putting this, that, and other thing, and it has very little nutritional value. You want to be stocking away things that's packed in nutrients, packed in protein, packed in vitamins. Don't just be throwing stuff in there because your future plans is to make some kind of soup. You understand? All right. Let me see. Good question. Do we need to replace the leaves after a certain amount of time? I haven't replaced them in 6 years, 5 years, whatever it's been. Well, no, my other buckets are 6 and 7 years old, so I've never replaced mine. So I've never had any infestation. So I'm not going to tell you yes or no. I'm going to tell you I haven't, and I haven't had no problem with it. Everybody has already answered you already, but Miss Max says, what do the bay leaves do? That's a good question. Our elders did this, and this is what I keep getting back to, is there are a lot of lost skills. Remember, there was not a refrigeration is new. Refrigeration is relatively new. Okay. We don't think so. We think this stuff been around forever, but it hasn't. So imagine this. Having some sort of refrigerator alone was a luxury for the rich, just in the, I'm going to say the 40s, the 30s, and the 40s, right? Most people had ice delivery come to their homes. Most people had ice delivered to their home, big blocks of ice. And they kept it either underground in some sort of cold cellar, or they had some sort of like a chest freezer that you put that block of ice in there and then you put your food in there. So this is how everybody stored things and kept bugs out of things. Let's talk about reality. I really want to leave this video, but boy, that's a good question that got me sparked up. I want to talk about the reality of certain things. If the lights go out, if the grid goes down, there will be little to no refrigeration all over again. And I want everybody to understand that is something that a reality that we'll all have to face. You will need to know all the ways to preserve your food, like the bay leaves. You will need to know how to salt your meats. You will need to know how to air dry your food, your vegetables, and your meats. You will need to know how to can and water bath can your food. You will need to know, after doing says canning or whatever, digging a root cellar and putting all of that stuff inside of a root cellar to keep it at a normal average temperature below the frost line. You know, it's just where these are old things that our families did that just a couple of generations ago. This ain't like, you know, ancient time, man. My mother has told me stuff about this stuff, you know. We're just a couple of generations removed from basically like some caveman style stuff. And if we don't practice on this stuff right now, man, it could be a life or death situation if we do not practice these preps that we did. We call it preps now, but this was a way of life back then. This is what people did. There was no invention of refrigerator, freezers, none of that. Computer, cancel. So I just wanted to make sure that we all keep tapping back into our past so we can get to our future. If the lights go out real quick, and I'm trying to keep this I'm trying to stay as subtle and calm and positive as I can in this video. The reality is, if the lights go out and you don't have any of these skills, you are going to be in a lot of trouble. If you have been putting off storing your food for the last 6 years, since I'm not going back in no further than 6 years. I'm not even going to talk about no farther than 6 years. The reason why I'm not going to do that, because we had already been warned that we really need to start putting our food away by 2 different presidents before this one. Every president has stepped up on that podium and told us that the American people need to start putting away food. So that was 2 presidential terms. And then we only started hearing we only started hearing governors, certain governors of certain states and certain mayors of certain cities start talking about the people need to be putting away their food and putting away water. The president stopped mentioning it, and then we only started hearing it fairly, I guess you can call it locally. So for the last 6 years, since the Band-Aid, there is no reason you shouldn't have some food put away. If you have been putting it off for 6 years, 6 years, 6 years, 5 years. I'm going to stay on 6 because that's when stuff really start getting stupid. 6 years. And there are people that don't believe in this. There are people that do not believe. It's crazy to me, but that's my own opinion. There are people that do not believe in storing away food, acquiring some way to protect the family or protect food and supplies. There are people out there that do not believe that this is real. And I can't do anything about that. I'm not going to knock them. I can't tell anybody what to believe because right now, if you think about it, shoot, preparing for what's to come right now is almost a religious thing. But I will say this. If there's any believers in the word, if there are any true believers in the word, I ain't talking about because you got to make it to church every Sunday. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about the ones that really, really, truly believe the word. Okay. If you really, truly claim that you do believe that word, this is in there. So that's all I had to say about that. And what about crackers and canned foods? Don't skip the crackers. Okay, keep the canned foods. Get rid of the crackers. You don't need the crackers. Because if worse come to worse, I'll tell you this. You can make crackers, okay? If you want to. Don't take up any storage space with something that has a shelf life of about 30 days. Crackers, don't waste your time or money. Okay? Just a piece of advice. Now, the canned food, sardines, beans, all of it, yes, definitely yes. Y'all want to hear something else? Want to hear something else? I ate a couple of cans of Bush's baked beans. I want to say those beans were in that can for 8 years. 8 years. I'm going to tell you why I ate them. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm going to tell you why I ate the can of Bush's baked beans that have been sitting around for about 7 or 8 years. I really wanted to test the theory. Trust me, I didn't do it while I was by myself. I didn't do it on Freedom Makers. I made sure I was with my wife and somebody could call 911. Okay. But best beans I ever had in my life. Best beans. And the reason I ate the beans is because they had a little rust at the top, right around the rim at the very top. Nothing that protruded into the metal. But I just wanted to, and I'm like, should I throw these out? Let me check them. So after that first old rusty can of Bush's baked beans, I turned around and cracked open another one. Okay, and replaced those 2 cans of beans with new cans of beans. But I'm telling you, canned foods are going to last. How long was I on the toilet? No longer than if I bought a new can of baked beans. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because everybody keep looking at that date on the cans And if you look and pay attention to those dates on the can, it say you got to eat these can of beans. These cans should be used in the next 12 months or so. That's what these cans say, right? I think, this is my opinion. Let me go back. Oh, let me state my purpose first, then I'll go back in time. I think the only reason they do that is so you won't sue them. That you ate a can of beans and they were out of date and they're just watching their tail feather. That's what I believe. I don't even think it's for flavor and quality necessarily. I think it's legally put there. So they say, hey, after a year, if you hadn't eaten these, you need to throw them away. That way you can't come back and sue the company for some old busted beans. They're watching their backs. Now, with that being said, when I was a kid, I ain't even got to go back that far. Hell, I've done it. My mama used to have, we had this cabinet loaded with canned goods. Loaded with canned goods. I can remember when my mother moved from Toledo, Ohio to Columbia, South Carolina. When we helped her move out of her house there to come here, I had a nostalgic, a couple times I've been broke into tears. A lot of that canned food been there since I was a kid. The food, I said, Mom, you want to throw this out? Don't throw that out. Pack that up. Oh, no. Oh, no. And I'm like, Mom, you know, I'm about to turn like 30 in a couple of months. You know how old these beans is, you know. Don't you throw them away. Guess what? Each and every last canned food in there got ate up. She made enough gumbos and enough soup dishes. You don't know that that's what she was using. All of that old beans and rice and canned foods and good. You go over my mama's house and be smashing. And she said, that good to you, boy? Whoa. Dang, Mom, you put your foot in that one. Yeah, because you eating some childhood ass beans. You eating some old canned goods, man, that was here in the 70s. And I've done it myself. You move from house to house to house to house to house, and you keep taking those canned goods with you. You don't throw that stuff out. So I think they stamped those dates mainly for legal reasons. That's my opinion. That's not facts. Okay. But I have never got sick over an old can of anything that I've eaten. Soup, beans, nothing. All right. So good, Gardner in the house. What's up, my brother? I just wanted to come in here and check on everybody. And I hope everybody got something from this video. I hope packing this food away like this helps you. You don't have, you can go and price somebody real quick. Do me a favor before we leave so we can see. Okay. Somebody open up another tab and go price go to Walmart website, because that's where I got this stuff. Go to walmart.com and I want you to price a 20-pound bag of beans. A 20-pound bag of rice, a 8-pound bag of pinto beans, a 4-pound bag of pinto beans, and a 4-pound bag of black beans. And tell me how much that costs right now. Anybody can do it. I want to open up another tab, but don't want to do that. If anybody can do that for us right now and give us a rough estimate at walmart.com, how much that would cost roughly for a 20-pound bag of rice, a 8-pound bag of pinto beans, a 4-pound bag of pinto beans, and a 4-pound bag of black beans. I mean, in a total, in a whole, not separately. What's the total? If anybody can do that for me, what would be the total? Pinto beans out of stock? That says something. That says something. You can switch it up. You don't have to have pinto beans. If I'm not mistaken, the pinto beans and the black beans cost the same amount of money. So remember, it was a 20-pound bag of white rice. Okay, you can substitute the pinto beans with black beans or lentils. Lentils or black beans. You can substitute. Wow, y'all, pinto beans is out of stock. Wow. What is that telling you? People just don't go eating beans like that. They're stocking up food, y'all. That's why they're out of these items. So pinto beans are out of stock. I told you, man. Y'all think people think that the spit ain't hitting the fan. People think right now that we're all okay. Man, people are quietly, low key going in these stores and buying them out. Okay, TLC says rice, black beans, and 3 4-pound bags of pinto beans is $27. So less than $30. Let's just say $30. That's your first bug out bucket. That's your first bug out bucket, 30 bucks. So you just, every time you get paid, put a bucket away, 30 bucks. That's all I do. I go buy me a bucket from either Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever, or Walmart, and put a Walmart lid on it. That's right, Patient Saint said, just like in 2020, all of the balls jar, not the balls, ball jars were, you couldn't find them. And low key, because everybody was getting themselves together. That's right. TLC says, even if you can't afford, get the bags of the 1-pound bags of everything. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. I just wanted to let y'all know I wanted to come in here and I wanted to we're going to have a lot of reality, real conversations about what's going on right now without the negativity. All right. I think right now there's enough negativity where I'm going to try my hardest not to bring that into the conversation because I think we all know the causes and the root causes of all of the problems. So we're going to talk about getting ready to deflect all of this madness. All right. So with that being said, hey everybody, y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you for coming in here. Thank you for listening. I hope you got something out of the video. Y'all stay safe. Oh, I got to add this. Stay safe and stay sane. That sounds crazy saying it, don't it? Stay safe. Stay sane. Live Farmer 73. I love you. And I'm out. It's rough out here, y'all. Peace.